everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte. Thrilling enough for you? Man. Hey. I ain't harping on no negative to start this shit. We smoking on that Dallas pack all week. No matter how you got it done. Smoking on that Dallas pack. Smoking on your top five. Smoking on your top five. Man, that feels good. Shout out to Dallas for being Dallas and giving it away. Shout out to Mike McCarthy for being Mike McCarthy and giving it away. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. Mike McCarthy punting the ball, disgusting. Dak Prescott, what sort of time management? Penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty. The Cowboys have not beaten good teams. They don't beat good teams. We got a lot to talk about, though. There's a lot of stuff to talk about right now, right? Especially the way the game unfolded. But let me get my other co-host in here real quick. Hey Jordan, new op pack in the air. This gas or what?
This is dank. It is fire. It's whatever word you want to use, whatever adjective. That was as satisfying of a win as I can remember in years, dude. And honestly, I don't think that it ever needs to come down to this, but it's 49er football. Like, I'm still sitting here trying to process how they messed up that QB sneak coming out of a timeout. Like, I was literally sitting there and I'm like, dude, you've got to be kidding me. But yes, Cowboys packs in the air. What a great day.
They still be here if you ain't gas them up. I want to see the Cowboys fans that were in here all week. I don't want to see y'all running now. The other thing also, okay? Let's keep talking. Hey, Big Dez, what we going to do about Jimmy? Hey, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Niners won. Cowboys lost. Let's not lose sight of the fact that we smoking that Dallas pack all week. This isn't your analyst show or anything like that. We're going to do what we did last week. We're going to kick back. We're going to have some fun. And I hope them Cowboys fans that was talking crazy pull up. Because I want to see them. Because they were talking crazy. Their team was getting bullied all game early on. Micah Parsons, the bullies get bullied, you get bullied. And whatever. Things unfolded the way that they did. And it should have been like that. Realistically. It should have been like that going down to the end. That's just how the 49ers are playing. They got another game. Jimmy drives you crazy? Yeah, well, I know. I know. So, Jordan, we talked about some keys to the game. Interior pressure was really, really big in this game. Talk to me about it, Splash Cousin, especially in a game where Fred Warner and Nick Bosa both go down.
This is where we saw the depth of the D-line, and you and I were at training camp, so we saw them, and we talked about for weeks and weeks and months that, like, this defensive line is deep. They go 7-8 deep. It's not just, in 2019 they were phenomenal, but it felt like obviously after those top four went out, there was a big drop-off. In this game, they were able to send wave after wave of pass rushers at that Cowboys offensive line. And the way that they stepped up when Nick Bosa went out and then Samson Ebukam went out too, we got to give some credit to the players, first of all. They're the ones on the field. They deserve the credit first and foremost. I want to make that very clear. But we owe some credit to the 49ers front office. Charles Omenihu was acquired for a 6th-round pick in 2023, I believe. And he had 2 sacks in this game. Jordan Willis was acquired for a 6th-round pick in this upcoming draft, I believe, last season. He's been great all season. Kevin Givens, Street, these guys. Armstead had a great game. We talked before. I want to just throw this out there, too. I know it's not completely about the D-line. Anybody who watched the show before with Brad, Jason and I, Brad asked us to pick like an impact player who's going to have a big play. Jason said Debo, and I said DJ Jones. DJ Jones sacks Dak Prescott, and 2 plays later, Debo rips off a huge run for a touchdown. So I'm just saying, like, me and this guy to my left might know what we're talking about sometimes. We're not perfect, but sometimes we. Hey,
look. let's just take some of these donations. We need to leave Jimmy and Arlington. Chill out, man. Chill out. Where's Texas boy? Where them Cowboys fans at? Yeah, man. I'm not here to just talk about a 49ers win. I'm trying to talk about how Dallas lost this shit. Because they soft and undisciplined and poorly coached. Mike McCarthy, what's happening, partner? Glad to see you. This is what I was talking about on Sprint Right Option on Friday. He's eventually going to pull up. And Mike McCarthy pulled up because it's a big game. But, man, gotta love that PFF Elite subscription from Mike McCarthy. Thank you for punting the ball. That was really, really great of you. Appreciate that. But, yeah, I just want to see some Cowboy fans, just a little bit, because they've been talking crazy all week. They've been in our streams all week. We've been letting them go and letting them slide. You know, we got back and forth into it. Y'all saw CeeDee Lamb? He played? He played today? CeeDee Lamb? I didn't see him. I mean, Michael Parsons talking about bullying bullies. Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle were tossing you out the club, bro. What happened? That rushing attack. What's that number, Jordan? Under 100 rushing yards, and they're 1-5, 1-6.
Niners haven't allowed 100-yard rushers since week 9, too. Keep it moving.
This was all in front of them. Now, was it more nerve-wracking than it needed to be? For sure. But that's fine. We good. We good over here. The idea that the 49ers could play that sort of game with Jimmy having that sort of game and winning, a lot of that has to do with what Dallas gave them, but at the same time, a win is a win. A win is a win. Embarrassing game by Dallas, 100%. Like 100%. That's disgusting. Like they handed the game away, and it's crazy. Penalties. And like Randy Gregory on that Brunskill penalty. What are you doing, dude? You're out of the play already, and you want to throw him on the ground? Like, I don't get it. Jordan, anything else that you wanted to add here real quick?
Yeah, can we talk about on that last drive? Because I'm not going to lie. Once the Cowboys got the ball back, like I'm sure if I was watching that game and I wasn't invested into the 49ers or had, an emotional lens on things, I'd be like, all right, there's 40 seconds. You got to go 80 yards. Like the game's pretty much over. But this was my biggest concern, was that the Cowboys would get a big play on first down. They did. They'd get into position where Dak has the arm strength to get the ball in the end zone. And I'm like, dude, they're going to take 3 or 4 shots. What are the odds the 49ers commit a PI in the end zone and the Dallas Cowboys get the ball on the 1-yard line with a chance to win? They didn't take a single shot at the end zone. And on top of that, with no timeouts, they run a draw with Dak Prescott from the 40-yard line. Free the Dallas Cowboys of Mike McCarthy. I don't want to hear that. Dak Prescott.
Rich, you got to mute yourself. Rich, you got to mute yourself.
Hang on. I'm shit.
No, man.
All right. Now we got a full house.
That was fun.
Do you think I'm off with that at all, Jason? Because I was literally sitting there, like, that was my biggest concern, was I was like, oh, man, they're going to just take a couple deep shots. All it takes is one mental lapse. They get the ball on the 1-yard line.
And on that last sequence, that really bothered me. You're supposed to have guys just on the boundary. Like, Romo's yelling about it the entire time, and I'm just like, what the hell are they doing? Like, they allowed them to get in that position, whatever it ends up ending how it did with them, not being able to have enough time to hike the ball. But yeah, like at the end there, it was just like, oh my God, like you guys are just trying to give them a shot. But Rich was in here first, so I'll get his thoughts first, and then we'll pass to Andrew. Rich, what the hell, man?
What do you want to know? Or what do you want me to say?
What the hell, man? Anything. Tell me anything. This game, like it went so many different ways, and of course it did. But like some of the things you walked away with in this game.
I'm tired of watching Jimmy play, man. The second half was abysmal. The bad throws, the pick, the not waiting till Williams got set to run that 4th down play. Just atrocious, all of it.
Andrew?
Hey, I mean, at least with Jimmy Garoppolo, because I was ready to tweet when it was 23-7. Like, I hope the Vikings aren't watching this defensive performance from D'Amico Ryans, because I think today would have sealed the idea of like, hey, he's actually a very good coach. But yeah, that Jimmy wasn't good in the second half. Rich, you're 100% right. Oh, that's a good comment, Wilson. It's
right, because they're playing Green Bay next week.
They're in Green Bay next week. I mean, The overthrow was horrendous. The interception was horrendous. He tried really, and then snapping the ball too early. They called that wrong. Is it Rich? Is that a false start or is that actually not set?
He wasn't set, right? Illegal shit.
They called the wrong thing.
They called it a false start, right?
They called it a false start, but I think it shouldn't have been like illegal formation, right? I think they got the wrong call.
Yeah, it should have been like illegal or formation or motion or something. I'm not sure. Let me see if they changed it.
That's a good question from Vish right here. That's the same thing he's asking. What's up, guys?
No,
what do you think about the online shit?
What was the benefit about that? Yeah,
they called the false start. I don't mind it. I mean, you just shift away from
they call false start.
Defense.
Yeah, they called
false start. That,
yeah,
because he wasn't set.
But Trent never moved. It
doesn't matter. You have to wait. No, you have to wait a second till he's set.
The quarterback has to be better there and understand that.
Yes.
Coming out of a timeout too, it's even more egregious. It's not like they had no timeouts and were watching it. They could have called the timeout.
All he needed to do was wait 1 second and snap the ball, and they end the game right there.
Man, go ahead.
I don't hate the Dak Prescott idea. They were too quick to the line. That's my take on that final second. I don't hate the idea because if they wait a split second and let the ref set it, but they were on top of it too much, the ref had to disrupt the line, and that ended it. It wasn't the worst thing. It looks bad, but that was way closer than it needed to be.
Well, Dak got the snap off, but then he clocked it, so the game was over. That's the play.
True. Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about it like that, huh?
Yeah, he doesn't save the clock there because you can still snap it when the play clock is 0, and then the clock hit 0 and he snapped it and that was it. He clocked he ended the game right there.
Real quick, Andrew, I mentioned that Mike McCarthy would make an appearance in this game. Mike McCarthy made many appearances in this game.
Made several.
And people ask me, "Well, he doesn't call plays." Where the Cowboys fans at? I'm sick of y'all. I am sick of y'all. Y'all are so trash. I'm gonna put this on Twitter. That's it. I am so sick of y'all. Y'all were in everybody's streams talking wild crazy. 42-3 Cowboys. They don't want to see us. Blah blah blah. Y'all sorry as hell as fans and as a team as a whole. Oh my God, man. I am so tired of y'all. That's just like Dallas Cowboys fans. All week, all you had to do is be humble and nobody would have been on your head. Where y'all at?
Jerry Jones just came out and said the 49ers just outplayed them. That's got to be demoralizing to hear that from no excuses, no talking about the NC. They flat out outplayed us. And
McCarthy
they did.
McCarthy cooked. It's a dub. That's it, man.
Hey,
but
I was gonna say D'Amico Ryans is so good, and I just want to make it known that I didn't forget how many of you wanted to fire him, said he wasn't ready, said that he wasn't good, that he didn't know what he was doing because of whatever led you to that opinion. It's trash. I respect everybody's opinion, but you can still have an opinion and have it be trash. And anybody who thought D'Amico Ryans should be fired, I'm sorry, that opinion's terrible, and it's looked more and more terrible as the season has gone on. Because without that defense, they wouldn't be anywhere near where they are in the playoffs. I just think that D'Amico Ryans deserves so much. That 4th and 11 call, I have to rewatch it back when I get game film. We're going to rewatch the broadcast, but I'm pretty sure he sent a 0 blitz on 4th and 11 with the game on the line.
I think he did too.
That's putting your nuts on the table, dude. That is a big call and a big moment, and that's something that Rich can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they've really done that most of the season. I bet you Dallas wasn't expecting that on that play. I could be wrong, but it felt like Vish said. I saw Vish said on Twitter. He was like, they were to go against tendency there, and I thought that summed it up perfectly. Like his ability to adapt and then throw a curveball at a defense or at another offense on 4th and 11 with the season seemingly on the line. Like, dude, he is so good, man. Like,
question. Unfortunately, we do have to talk about some things that are messed up. Let me take a look at some donations. Let me get them real quick before I talk about it. Let me see. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, Paul Madison, that's what's up. Go Niners. Love this team. Let's go. Appreciate you, bro. Let's see. Skip is pissed. Yeah, who cares? He's a
Skip
moron.
tweeted Jimmy Gag almost gave it to us.
Smoking on that Cowboys pack. Unfortunately, here we go. JR, the haters always on the stream, but they never show up at the end. Like Don Burr shows up every single
Don Burr,
week,
the
bro.
legend.
All right. Let's talk about it. No Nick Bosa, no Fred Warner. It's a good thing that Azeez Al-Shaair was back in this game, and it's a good thing that they were able to pivot to Azeez Al-Shaair and Dre Greenlaw. That is why it was always a good problem that Greenlaw was there no matter who started. But Bosa If he's not back next week, then we have to talk about that. But I think that really speaks to this 49ers team to be able to pull it together without Bosa, without Warner, and how deep they really are. I mean,
Yeah.
Arden Key had some pressures that led to holds. Armstead, DJ Jones, like Jordan, Omenihu gets a sack.
Omenihu had a huge sack.
Yeah, they're just deep everywhere, man. So to think that all of that happened and everything was happening in the wrong direction for the 49ers, and we kind of like saw like a car crash happening, it didn't end the way that sometimes it ends for 49ers fans. And without those two players, I just think it's more impressive.
Hey, real quick, you guys, if you haven't had a chance yet, and anybody watching, if you want to have an even more like overjoyed sense of feeling right now, go look at the graphics that they're putting out, because Dak Prescott won the Nickelodeon MVP. And they're like putting out, dude, the graphics are so good considering that they lost. It's so good. Like if you have the chance, go look at it. It's so funny, dude.
Did CBS show the replay of what happened to Bosa?
Yeah, he got.
Okay, so
yeah, like one cut of it. That was it.
He ran right into DJ Jones' leg.
Me being the adult watched the entire game on Nickelodeon, and they ignored every injury. They ignored every
injury. They didn't say anything about any injury.
Nope. So I didn't see what happened to Bosa, but I mean, just to bounce off what Jordan said with D'Amico Ryans, he did that with no Bosa, no Warner for majority of the second half. And this feels like a game where if a team thinks you saw the report yesterday with the Vikings, requesting to interview him. That's the kind of game that if a team's interested in him, that might push him over the top. So we'll see what Minnesota actually thinks about D'Amico Ryans. But what a game from him! What a game from him!
Well, I'm answering Cowboys fans. This is a beautiful time right now. I want to do analysis, but can we talk a little crazy about the Cowboys? And I'll pass it off to one of you guys before I start yelling something like that. We got almost 700 people in here right now. Shout out to the 49ers faithful that are in here celebrating a win and moving on. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because there's going to be a lot more to talk about this week as the 49ers are headed to Lambeau Field. Rich Madrid, that's got to kind of put some conflicting feelings in your mind a little bit. Do you want to preview that matchup a little bit? Just joking, clearly.
Yeah, I can preview it later this week.
Oh, what? Oh my God, what a casual. This guy doesn't even know.
What are you
running over there, man?
They're not gonna let Jimmy throw that much in this one. They can't. It's gonna be like -5. You're gonna get Aaron Rodgers boycotting the Super Bowl, determined to get there anyways. I don't know. I don't know, man. The Packers were good last time, in the playoffs when they played them, and the 49ers absolutely walloped them. So
what's Joe Barry running over there, man?
It's gonna confuse the hell out of Garoppolo if they have.
For what it is worth, Saturday in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm making sure the days are right. High of 20, low of 6. No
Is
snow.
it Saturday?
I don't know. Sunday the 20. I'm doing both. Sunday 11 degrees, -2 degrees.
I would think it's going to be Saturday because there's no way they're going to make a Monday night team play on Saturday.
Yeah, my guess it's Saturday as well. So
probably Saturday night.
Winds at 5 to 10. But so it's going to be cold in Green Bay in January. Shocker, I know, right? This is the matchup Niner fans want, right? They own the Niners, so we'll find out if they can go do it in Green Bay. But I guess the cold shouldn't. I don't want to dive too deep into a prediction. The Niners just beat the Cowboys in the playoffs for the first time in my real life. But if Shanahan has his way, the weather shouldn't affect the Niners too much because they're just going to play the cold weather style of just pounding the rock 30, 40 times. So it's going to be interesting, right?
Can I talk about something real quick? I'm sorry, Rich. I'll pass it to you. Well, no, you know what, Rich?
No, it's all good.
All right. Trevon Diggs was getting worked by Brandon Ayuk in this game.
And then he hit him with the blaze out double move, and Garoppolo sailed it out of bounds. And
Damn it, man.
That was the start of the almost comeback.
See, that's the thing, man, is, gosh, that's, again, We said this after the Rams game, right? All of your criticisms 72 hours before that game are still valid.
Mike Chilton in the comments said it best, man. Ayuk cooked his ass. That was it. That's all you need to know.
Got his ass cooked.
Jordan, this is for you.
Let me see if it pulls up.
2 legends tied together for eternity. I thought it would be Debo, but I didn't think about the fact that it's obvious. Like the Cowboys fan base.
Oh, no. When the Niners were up 23-7, pardon my take, tweeted like vote Dak for MVP. So that's why it was 81% to 7. You guys didn't watch the Nickelodeon broadcast. Yeah, the voting was like.
Of course, 80... I couldn't have. You wait, Andrew.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah,
you watched the entire game on Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Yes. I don't lie on the podcast. It's fun. It's light. It's enjoyable. I didn't realize how much they would ignore injuries. But man, there is something about watching the catch 7 times with slime coming out of Dwight Clark's hands as he catches it. But yeah, I did watch the whole game. Dak Prescott had 81% of the vote.
Dude.
Dalton Schultz finished second with 10.
Nance and Romo were crushing that shit, man. Like Romo was like calling the plays out. He knew exactly. He's like, Jimmy's going here with it right there. And bro, he was right. And the ball was just like not thrown correctly, man. Oh man. I'll watch it again on Nickelodeon on the rerun, but damn, that took a lot, Andrew.
I'm not gonna lie, the slime in the end zone when they scored touchdowns. I just saw the clips on Twitter. It was pretty fun. Like,
Elijah Mitchell when he scored.
The field goals are really weird, though. You can't see the field goals because they don't do the behind the screen, the behind the kicker angle. They do it from the sideline. You could not tell any field goals. Which, by the way, speaking of field goals, Robert Gold.
Thank you.
50?
Appreciate you doing your job,
we
pal.
Love
Thank
it.
you.
We love to see it.
Way to go. Way to do your job, bro. Yay. The offense shouldn't have been kicking. Like, what the hell? Like,
actually, Rich, Jordan, and I guess Jason, too, I wanted to ask because that was a conversation with my friend I was talking to. Go back way to the, first quarter, that 4th and 1 when they're up 10-0. I don't know if you guys remember. Do you agree with the field goal or would you have gone for it?
I would have gone for it, but I don't really. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I just was curious because that was a conversation early in the game. Just kind of running back.
How about with the full scope of the game? They couldn't execute a QB sneak on 4th and inches. So what happens if they get a false start and they get moved out of Robbie Gould's field goal range and you're left with nothing? Like, I think that at that time the Niners still had Bosa. Warner hadn't gotten hurt. Like they had a full. Like they were giving Dallas problems. And they were banking on the fact that, hey, Dallas is going to eventually score, but if we can hold them to a field goal, it gives us more breathing room to be up, obviously, 13 than rather if you go for it, don't get it. Dallas gets the ball around midfield, only down 10-0. Like, I think there's this misconception, and especially it's amplified now because the Bills literally went 7 drives and scored 7 touchdowns yesterday, that if you're not scoring touchdowns, it's, like, not successful. And I think 49ers fans came into this game, I understand the rivalry and stuff, but they came in acting like the Cowboys were like this awful team and the 49ers should be winning this game by 30 points or something. Like being up 16-7 at the half in Dallas against this team was an objective win. And I don't think my problem is far more with what Kyle does towards the end of games rather than the beginning. It feels like he plays not to lose games towards the end rather than playing to win. And I think that's a bigger, if he had punted on that 4th and inches before the false start, it'd be a cowardly move. There's no way you can defend that. But early in the game, no, it's not a problem to take points. And I think that the alternative is the Niners go 3 and out. They have to punt. They didn't punt until I believe 7 minutes in the 3rd quarter. That's objectively a successful thing, even if you're coming away with field goals, particularly when the other team is only the Cowboys punted on 3 of their first 4 drives. I just think that people are way too quick to be oh, they didn't score. They needed to touch that. You could if the Niners lost this game, people would have blamed Kyle for kicking that field goal rather than scoring or going for it on 4th down. And like Rich said earlier, if you're at the 35-yard line, what's the guarantee that you convert on the next couple series and get in the end zone? You very well could go 3 and out on the next series and you're still kicking a field. There's just too many variables at stake. So I don't think it was a problem. My biggest concern was how they played towards the end. And it felt like towards the very end that they, after that pick that Jimmy threw, they were Kyle was not taking that chance. He's I'm going to turn this into an Army-Navy game.
Sad
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Today is so much fun. I really don't care who threw interceptions. You know what happened? The 49ers beat the Cowboys, and the Cowboys are going home and taking an L. I don't really care. We'll talk about next game in a few days. I was told that the Dallas kid.
McCarthy's getting cooked.
Somebody clip that laugh, please.
McCarthy's getting cooked in my Acme Packing Company's Slack chat right now.
He should be.
It should be.
They hate that guy, man.
But Mike McCarthy pulled up and was like, "Oh,
yes,
y'all remember me?"
For those that don't know, yes, I get paid to cover the Packers.
Well, either way, Mike McCarthy, appreciate you, bro. Make sure you re-up that PFF Elite subscription. You're gonna need it for your next job interview.
Dude, the field goal on what was it, 4th and 1, right? Was it no? It was a 4th and 7. That felt like a weird one, but Jimmy, that I'm not going to talk about it. Nope, we're talking positive. The Niners beat the Cowboys.
Hey, do you guys remember when Mike McCarthy got hired last year? And he's like, "Oh yeah, I basically came in and said I was watching." He didn't coach in 2019, and he's basically like, "Oh yeah, I just basically went in and lied and said I was watching games all year when I really wasn't. I wanted to get the job." And they all like laughed it off. Like that to me was like such a red flag that the dude openly was just like, "Yeah, I lied to get the biggest head coaching job in professional sports. Like no big deal." Like, dude, they talked about that either. Like,
how long does it take for him to get fired?
I embrace the analytics just so I could punt on 4th down, bro. Like this is it. Like right here, like you.
In his defense, and I know like we're not supposed to talk about it, but if he was banking on Jimmy eventually making a mistake, like I'm not saying that's what he was thinking because I would have no way of knowing. Like he was kind of validated, but I agree it was a weird call. But
hey, look, Jimmy didn't look good in the second half, but again, we're not focusing on no negative. We're going to focus on what happened, and the Dallas Cowboys gifted the 49ers a win, and they are terrible, and they get to go home. So how about that?
I'm surprised.
I heard Cedric Wilson was going to have a really good game too, man. What happened to Cedric Wilson? Y'all seen him?
I'm surprised McCarthy hasn't been fired yet. Not gonna lie.
I mean, Stephen A. Smith's having a ball.
Oh wait, Schefter just tweeted. Oh no, okay. I was gonna say Schefter just tweeted. Yeah, man. I really have no thoughts right now. That was a wild game. It was a wild.
Stephen A. Smith is laughing.
You have to let them marinate. Like you have to let it soak in.
Yeah, that's why these episodes aren't official Sprint Red Option podcast canon. This isn't part of the Sprint Red Option cinematic universe, you know. So
can we talk about that play call on what was it, 3rd and 11, to Debo? Like that put them in that 4th inning, even though it didn't ultimately.
Yes.
Almost got it.
What a play call in that moment. Like, I don't know. Like,
just Kyle again putting out Jimmy's fires.
Y'all want to keep laughing? Cowboys fans threw things at their own players after they had to run into them.
James Slater tweeted that.
Oh, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day, man. I don't really care what happens tomorrow, the day after that, because it's not a game until next week. But I am going to be killing the Cowboys fans on Twitter. Oh, my God. I'm not letting up on this one. Good Lord. If you thought Rams was bad, I am full pedal to the metal because they popped wild shit, man. Oh, my God. I'm so happy. Today's a beautiful day.
Do you guys want to hear a good stat?
Okay.
They showed us. I saw a stat on NFL Network last night that the last 4 winners of the 49er Cowboy playoff games went on to win the Super Bowl. So might as well just cancel the rest of it now. Niners are winning the Super Bowl because they beat Dallas. It's over. Especially if Cincinnati gets there. Cincinnati's never beat the Niners in the Super Bowl.
Kyle just said in the presser that 4th down false start at the end of the game was Jimmy's fault.
No. No.
I mean, not like outright, but he said like the quarterback's got to wait till he gets set. I mean, I said that when it happened.
I'll find the exact
definitely was his fault. Like,
oh no, it was.
And there's no reason to rush there. Like, it's pretty like, dude.
No.
The amount of penetration a defense needs to get to stop you getting a half an inch, literally, like an inch or two. Like, come on.
Like, it needs an act of God to like part that for the defense. I mean, there's no way they weren't going to get it.
The thing that would have stopped them is themselves. Like, honestly, at the end of that game, like, have you guys seen that meme of the ref? I think it's photoshopped. Maybe it's real. There's like 15 flags behind him on the field. Like, that's what this game felt like at the end. It was like each team was like trying to like shoot themselves in the foot faster than the other could. And it was like a game where like neither team felt like they wanted to win it. Like, just absurd, man. Unserious behavior.
Here's the full quote. It was on the silent count. It was quarterback sneak all the way, but Jimmy got really excited because of the look and didn't let Trent get set. It ended up not being a problem, but I was going to struggle. But I was going to struggle answering that if we lost.
Damn.
Oh,
I
just
love
throw
him.
him under
I
the
love
bus
him.
if you lose. Come
I
on.
love him. I love him.
Whatever. Look. All right.
Well,
let's
this
try,
is such
let's
a
try
weird.
to, but
It's
let's
such a
try to
weird
analyze
conversation,
this.
right? Because the Niners win, but it like halfway through the third quarter, it felt like it was over, and then it was kind of taken away. It's that I think that's kind of why we keep going back to the negative, because it's just so like it was such an interesting game as a 49ers fan.
And it looked over early, right? Like I think after Debo
Mhm.
scored, it kind of felt like, okay, score one more time, and this feels like it's a wrap. But whatever. I mean, we're 49ers fans. It can never be easy. What the hell, man?
The Niners, when the Niners were up 23-7 in the third quarter, halfway 4:38 left, the Cowboys punted 4th and 2 at their own 33. And I think I said to my friend, the Cowboys just punted the game away. That's like how confident I was in that moment. And then it was just kind of taken away.
Yeah. Can we talk about how many Niners fans there were there? Because I think there were a lot, but I don't think it was as much as that last Romo game there. And I think that the Cowboys fans kind of held their own a little bit.
Well, I think it's a little different for a playoff game, right? Like
should be.
playoff games are going to get more local people, so
Yeah, should be. But I feel like there was a lot of, shout out to the people that we know that were at the game. There were, a lot of them there, but it felt like Cowboys kind of held their own, right? Yeah, I would say 35% is good. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, there were some shots that it looked like it was 50-50. There were some shots that looked like it was 60-40. So I'd probably say like 60-40 probably be the safest bet.
Yep. So,
Unbelievable. What a win.
Yeah.
What
Here
a
we are,
win.
Andrew.
Here we are.
Divisional playoffs.
At Lambeau, nonetheless. Lambeau, nonetheless.
Rich is just like, I don't get what the hell's happening. Why is this happening right now? Right? Like, and Jordan also is like Jordan.
Rich knows his Packers are about to get owned by the handsome one himself. He's going in there.
What?
He's going in
what?
there. Jimmy's going in there. He's going to be like 9 of 13 for like 112 yards, and the 49ers are going to find a way to win that game.
So 9 of 13, 78 yards, 2 picks, and they win 17-14 or something.
Get owned by the wins. Get owned by then the 49ers will be on to the NFC Championship, and you'll be owned by a winning quarterback, pal. It's a tough scene.
Who went to Dallas in the wild card round 3 years ago and couldn't win? Do you guys have some quick trivia? I know you know.
What was the question?
Seattle.
Who went to Dallas in the wild card game 3 years ago and couldn't win?
What he said.
Seattle, yeah.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson lost.
Jimmy Garoppolo still never been bounced in the first round, Russell Wilson, you bozo. Jimmy Garoppolo first round exits 0. Russell Wilson first round exits 1 to the same team. Be ashamed of yourself, Russell Wilson and Seattle Seahawks.
With all due respect to Russell Wilson, he did tweet out about Fred Warner when he got hurt, and I thought that was a very classy move. So I just have to throw that out there while we're making fun of him for losing to the Cowboys. I'm sorry for taking the steam out of your.
Nah, it's cool because that's really nice of him to do from his couch, which is
it was a
like
nice parting gesture before he goes on to quarterback the Eagles or the Giants or some other crappy NFC East team next year, which is what I think we're all hoping for.
Hey, Jimmy Garoppolo can join the elite list of, and yes, this is a quarterback win stat, so apologize. He could join an elite list of Michael Vick, Dante Culpepper, Eli Manning, Colin Kaepernick, and Tom Brady as the only opposing quarterbacks to win a playoff game at Lambeau Field.
Jesus.
It used to be cooler when it was just Vic, and now like everybody's kind of doing it. But that's a fun thing to think about.
What was that? I was not paying attention.
It's the only quarterbacks who have won a playoff game at Lambeau Field that didn't play for the Packers. Michael Vick, Dante Culpepper, Eli Manning, Colin Kaepernick, and Tom Brady. So Jimmy Garoppolo can join that list.
He probably
Jimmy's. They've played all the games at Levi's, haven't they? Because they've all been at Levi's. I don't think he's even played a regular season game there, right?
Wasn't that? Yeah, that was Jimmy's first road playoff game too. Actually, thinking about it.
Yeah. He wins on the. I mean, he doesn't. The Niners win when he's the quarterback when they play on the road, and he's not.
Hey, pal. Hey, hold up, pal. Road win, Jimmy Garoppolo. That's just what he does, right? Get lost, you bozo Montana. Nobody cares. You get.
Rich, do you think that Joe Montana could operate? Do you think that Kyle Shanahan would be able to let Jimmy Garoppolo carve with Joe Montana in his place? Like the way he lets Jimmy Garoppolo carve defenses, would Joe Montana be able to do that in the system?
You're muted.
You're muted, Rich.
I wasn't saying anything.
He just tried not to say anything. Go Rams. No, man, thank y'all. Don't thank us. Thank y'all.
Hey, I got another tweet. Hang on. I'm
Hold up. How I'm Lombardi? Why? Because I'm celebrating a win? What the hell, man?
JKBG.
I don't get it. Now I'm Lombardi because I'm happy and I'm tipsy about a win. Get lost, bro. Who cares, man? Jesus Christ, man. Y'all be sick. Y'all sick in the head, bro. What happened?
Open that share screen.
That's a great point.
Okay.
Can we talk about Ambry? Dude has CD locked up. Also, love the show, but I've been busy lately. But you guys always have my support. Appreciate you. Yeah, who was CD? Who was Cedric Wilson? Didn't know those guys. I had heard all week about them from everybody. So, like, what?
Ambry looked good early on in this game. Mosley played
5 minutes ago.
Too. Oh no!
Kwaski already turning in receipts
5 minutes ago. He just tweeted it.
He's in the locker room doing that, dude. That's
Play
it. Bayless. I'm not gonna play. It's a 5-minute video, but Bayless said, "My team is just better than the 49ers. I have the better quarterback, and I have Micah Parsons, the difference maker." It's a 5-minute clip. I'm not gonna play the whole clip.
Oh my God. Y'all really don't want to play the Packers again as Rams fans, and y'all should feel bad about that because y'all scared of them just like you scared of every really good team. So I'm not taking that as a compliment. Don't just jump up in here and say thank y'all so much. Be better. And if you were so confident in your team, you would just say, I don't care who's next. That's sad, man. That's real sad, bro.
I kind of care that it's Green Bay next. I was definitely hoping Philadelphia would beat Tampa Bay today. But I think it's a little different because the Cowboys aren't great. The Cowboys are fine.
Oh, all right. Appreciate you, Joe. All right,
that's fine. I hate the Cowboys. We're good, Joe.
Yeah, we're good. We're good then. We're good.
But think about this, Andrew. If the Niners are able to pull this off, how cool would it be to look back on this? They had to go into Dallas and win. If they go into Lambeau and they win, and then
potentially into Tampa Bay
against Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Hey, shout out to you, Kia, Kai, because you're the only one who pulled up. You're the only one
Kai,
who pulled
we appreciate you.
Yeah, and that's it.
Sprint right option legend now.
Respect, bro. Respect. You're the only one who pulled up, and you know what? It didn't go the way that we really thought, so I wouldn't say we were right. Honestly, I really wouldn't say we were right at all, man. Like, we had no idea that the game was going to go like that, but respect to you for pulling up, bro, and you're good in my book anywhere, bro. Just for that. I promise you.
Could you imagine, Jordan, just to go off that point, the Niners beat Dak Prescott in Dallas, beat Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, beat Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, and then have the final boss of Baby Arm Burrow.
Oh wow!
I just wanted to get Rich to laugh. That's all that was for.
It's setting. I was wrong about. I thought Jimmy wouldn't turn the ball over today. I was wrong. In the first half, I'm like, okay, this is what I expected. He was like 11 of 14 for like 130.
He was good in the first half.
He looked good. I thought that's what we would get. I still think that this team is poised to make a run, and I would, I wouldn't say that if I didn't really mean that. I don't gain anything from I try to be objective. Like they're a tough team to play in the playoffs, especially when they're coming in as an underdog, as a road team. Teams don't want to go up against the 49ers running the ball the way that they do. Yeah. The Deebo Samuels and George Kittles and Brandon Ayuk. It's so hard to prepare for those guys during games. And if Bosa and Warner are okay going into next week, we saw how good the D-line is. Like if you can run the ball and you can rush the passer, you're going to have success in the playoffs. And the 49ers do both of those things so well. It really just feels like their biggest the interception sucked.
Yeah.
It's hard to say one's worse than the other, but I thought that the missed Ayuk on third down was worse than the interception.
Mahomes, baby.
Oh, is that game already started? But
dude, they're 8 minutes in already.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I'm watching Nickelodeon still, so
he just threw a Garoppolo-esque pick, man.
Oh, he did? Interesting. But Jordan, to even add to your point about just like Garoppolo in the first half, you see how good the 49ers are when he's just fine. Like he didn't put up anything amazing in the first half. He was good. But like that's just where the Niners are, is all like they're good enough to where if they can just get above average to decent player from their quarterback, they're a really damn good football team. And if you could imagine Garoppolo, if he ever has a game where he has like a great game, how good can this team be, you know?
And without Bosa and without Warner.
Without like D'Amico Ryans needs to win. Is there a coordinator of the year award? Because if there is, he needs to win it just for this game. Like he was so good and he didn't have Bosa and Warner for the second half. Insane.
And I'm glad Joe brought this up. The dude
Jennings.
Had is impressive, man. So I sent out my tweet. This is it. I hope you guys understand, and I get to elaborate on it a little bit more. Juwan Jennings is not the new Jalen Hurd. He's the new Kendrick Bourne. On third down, he's just bigger, and that's exactly what they need him for. Is on third down, just like they used Kendrick Bourne during those times. No further questions, Your Honor.
It's insane to see how quick he's become the Niners' go-to third down target. I think he had like 2 or 3 third down receptions for first downs. Like he it felt like he wasn't getting too many snaps in the early half of the season. Now he's their go-to guy.
And what does he have? It's 97% of his catches or something like that on third down or some wild stat that Romo threw out there. Like
I know it was more than half. I mean, today it might have been 90%, but the season he like more than half his receptions were on third downs.
He had all of them today were on third.
Yeah.
So shout out to Juwan Jennings. Brandon Ayuk was cooking Trevon Diggs too, and Trevon Diggs is a great player, but.
Hey, we're talking about the Cowboys. Micah Parsons is really good, man. And as a rookie, like I don't know if there's still Cowboys fans in here. Like you should feel good about your team once you get that bozo of a head coach out of there. Like it's again, people blame
Jim Harbaugh.
Go get Harbaugh.
Yeah, go get Harbaugh.
No, man.
How did Aaron Rodgers lose all these years in the playoffs? Like, well, it's pretty simple. Mike McCarthy was his coach. He's a terrible head coach. Like, I just think that it's
not good.
Unfair that people don't realize that this guy is the common denominator with just awful decision making in big moments, and then the players get blamed for his lack of common sense. I guess I don't know the word I'm looking for here, but I thought he was awful today, dude. Like some of those decisions he made were just terrible.
Yeah, can I stir the pot a little bit too and just be funny because we're feeling good? Yeah. Trey Lance is still in the playoffs. Mac Jones is not.
Nate Sudfeld too.
Oh man, just wanted to throw it out there. Just because I'm feeling good today. It. Who cares? Obviously that's not a logical
not a serious
statement.
Take, but hey,
yeah, it's not a serious take. But who cares?
It's
some fun.
What a win! What a win! It really felt like coming down to the end there, something wild was going to happen that would cost the Niners, and something wild happened, but it hurt the Cowboys. Like it's still 0-0 in Arrowhead. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
43 Battle minutes. Of the elite quarterbacks here.
43 minutes. We can go for like an hour. That's cool. That's it. And then I'm
good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to get into like full, like wild out mood. But while everybody is here, make sure you hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. We got a lot to talk about this week. Sprint Right Option Monday, show with Leo on Tuesday, Wednesday, me and Brad, Thursday, me on Grand Show, Friday, Sprint Right Option, and right back in the saddle because the 49ers have a game next week in the divisional round. And who could have seen that coming? I'll pass it around to you guys to talk about what this season feels like right now, especially with the fact that the 49ers are still alive. And I'll start with Jordan.
It feels good, man. Like it feels like they're a team that has been capable of this all year. And even today, like it was just self-inflicted stuff. Like Dallas is a good team and it didn't feel like they were able to match the 49ers intensity early on. That defensive line is so good. It's super, I don't want to just state the obvious, but if you can get after opposing teams' quarterbacks, it'll hide a lot of deficiencies elsewhere. The Niners sacked 6 different players contributed to a sack today. They sacked Dak 5 times, and they hit him 14 times. He looked as uncomfortable as I've ever seen him in the times that I've watched him. I obviously don't watch every single Cowboys game, but out of every time I've watched it, I don't think I've ever seen him look so hesitant and
Jason Justice comment.
It looked like he was missing a lot of like easy reads over the middle. He was missing stuff that he normally wouldn't. And you just have to tip your cap to how good that defense is because I think we all know that like if Jimmy stays efficient enough and the offense runs the ball well, like they'll put up points. But their ability, Dallas had 7 points through 3 quarters. I think. I think they got that field goal early in the fourth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So holding that offense is explosive at home to hold them to 7 points through 3 quarters. I just can't say enough about them. So I'm feeling really good. And I feel like the Niners are playing with house money at this point because, again, it's not like they're the 1 seed and there's this heavy expectation. And as good as the Packers are, and as much as I think they're a much more difficult test than the Cowboys were, they're really just kind of playing with house money at this point. Like, I think objectively, like, this season has been a success. Like, we can look back on all the people saying that, oh, Trey Lance should have been starting. They should have done this. They should have done that. Getting into the playoffs and beating your biggest rival in their house the way they did today, I think no matter what happens from here on out, we can look back on fondly on this year and say it was objectively a success. Some people are Super Bowl or bust. I personally don't feel that way because I think that it's insanely hard to win Super Bowls. But getting to the playoffs and winning a playoff game against your biggest rival is something that you should feel good about. No matter what happens next week, I think we can all look back and find like a silver lining about this team going forward.
Rich, you're next.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they just held the highest scoring team in the NFL in 2021 to 17 points. They can do it to anyone, and this defense is probably playing a lot better than it was at the beginning of the season. So while the Packers game I think is going to be tough, I do think it is going to be winnable as long as they stick to a script of running the ball.
Yeah, and I agree. I'm absolutely on Jordan's point. I think anything at this point, even before today, anything before today was extra. This team making the playoffs, especially after a 2-5 or 2-4 start, all the bad losses with Seattle and then the Colt McCoy game, just getting to the playoffs felt like a chore. Anything on top is extra to me. And this is, I'm absolutely on with Rich too. This is a winnable game in Green Bay. The weather, yes, the weather's going to suck. The weather's going to be cold, but it feels like it plays into the Niners' way because when you get punched in the mouth like the Niners try to do when it's cold, it hurts a little more. That's a weird, thing. I don't know why I said, but it feels like a good chance for the Niners to go to the NFC Championship game. The Packers are good, but the Niners, I wouldn't be surprised if they win. I think you're muted.
Six Flags needs to create a new roller coaster called the Jimmy G Experience. Good effing Lord. If we win a Super Bowl, I'm going to have heart problems. I mean, that's how it should be. A lot of teams had heart problems on their way to winning Super Bowls. So as long as they get it done, you'll take the experience. Jerry Jones willing and considering firing McCarthy and installing Kellen Moore as head coach. Yes, that's what I heard today as well. But, like me and Jordan talked about, being a Dallas coach, you pretty much are one game or so away from being fired. It's just what happens. It's like, again, George Steinbrenner, firing people at like it's a bodily function. It's the same thing, man. Like it's not an issue.
Do you think Billy Martin could coach the Cowboys?
Do you think that that Kellen Moore is bringing the calzones to Jerry Jones, and that's what what's gonna get him over the hump to beating Mike McCarthy for this job because he's having lunch with him as the assistant to the traveling secretary?
There's no way he keeps his job. Dude, they set the record for postseason penalties in a single game. I'm pretty sure. Yep. At least
the penalties cost them.
Yeah, they gave it up. They gave the game away. They're not disciplined, and that goes to the head coach. And we said similar things about Kyle Shanahan early on in the year. Why are you not executing? Why are those things happening? Good.
I don't know if it's selfish of me to say this, but as much as I'm happy the Niners won for a lot of reasons, one of the biggest ones is I'm so glad we don't have to sit here and have this narrative driven about how Kyle Shanahan can't hold double-digit leads in the fourth quarter of the playoffs because it's not his fault that there was an egregious miss by Jimmy on that throw to Ayuk and the interception and these things. It's like it would have been really hard to sit here and be like, okay, well, this is the third time it's happened. Like maybe he's just cursed. I don't think it's anything he did decision-wise, but I just have to say I'm really happy we're not sitting here going, oh my God, like Kyle Shanahan can't hold double-digit leads in postseason games because it felt like that's how it was trending. And then especially when Dallas cut it to one score, I'm like, oh my God, man, like this is not happening. Like there's no way they're going to blow this game. So yeah, selfishly for my own, only Shan stocks, I'm glad that we don't have to worry about that for at least another week.
Only Shan's drop coming soon. I feel it in my bones real quick.
I quick still one of those shirts.
Let's go, Jason. Talk your shit to Dallas fans. Yeah, man. But again, We're good on I want to say his name right. Is it Kai? He's
Kai.
good. Kai, he's good. He's good here, bro. He's good. He's here, and we're not going in on him at all, man. We're not. I think playing playoff caliber teams like the Bengals, Titans, and Rams got them prepared for the playoffs. Great win. Let's go Niners. Yeah, the 49ers have been a playoff team for the last how many weeks? Tennessee, literally the number 1 seed in the AFC, returning Derrick Henry, beating the Rams, playing the Packers. They are battle tested. And especially when you think about a 3-5 team, if I would have told you that they were moving on to the divisional round after 3-5, you would have said probably not. And that's what I think Jordan's talking about in terms of this season being a win. And I know, oh, well, if you don't win a Super Bowl, it's not a successful season. No, that's not really true when you actually contextualize the whole season and where you were at certain points. So.
Sorry, not me looking up flights to Green Bay.
Christ, man.
I'm just curious. I've always wanted to go to a Niners or a Packers playoff game in Lambeau. Might as well make it this one, right? See how much it is. I doubt it's going to happen because I'm going to look at the price and be like, I don't even make that much in a week. But hey,
hold on. I know. I if I missed the super chat, I'm going to go back and look for it. If you can give me I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm trying to navigate both right now, and also I'm enjoying this win. A little bit, you know. But y'all keep talking, man. Like, what else happened that was good in this game? Mitch Wisnowski with the good punt there at the end.
Well, I mean, that punt, we're calling that that's a gimme just to punt it through the end zone, right? Robbie Gold. Oh, I mean, if we want to talk special teams, Jason, Robbie Gold was the kickoff guy.
Kick his ass out, man. Hold on. Let's take this from Brian Boucher. Fantastic effort by Kyle and company. They neutralized Parsons and Diggs today. Neither of those guys got it going. Props to the O-line and Kittle. Jesus Christ. That's the thing is Kyle was never going to put it in a spot where those guys could beat him. And the 49ers executed, man.
Can we talk about Ayuk? So I think we've gotten so caught up in how good Deebo's been this year that we've forgotten the potential that Ayuk has. And he the game today is why I think so many of us thought he would be that like alpha X wide receiver, like top option among the receiving group, because he is such a smooth route runner. He is so good at getting these defenders turned around. Like Trayvon Diggs is a good corner. I personally
best running back that plays wide receiver. That's for sure.
Deebo.
I don't know that Trayvon Diggs is in the discussion for best corner in the league. I think that he had a great year, but I also think that what the 49ers did, and Ayuk specifically, they took advantage of his own aggressiveness against him, and it felt like they were really calling plays directed at getting him to bite on those quick breaking out routes, and then Ayuk turning upfield, because they missed that one obviously on third down, but they completed that one for 37 yards or something like that. So I just think that the 49ers are set up so well, regardless of what happens this year, going into the future, they're set up so well at the skill position groups. Like their oldest skill position player is Kittle, and he's going to be like 29 next year, which is still like relatively young. Like they're in a great spot there. So whoever the quarterback is next year, I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page. It's probably going to be Trey Lance. He has a stud group of receivers to throw the ball to. And Ayuk could be the one on a lot of teams, and he's basically the 49ers' third option in the passing game. Like that's pretty nuts when you think about it.
For sure. And he was cooking Diggs. You know, he was open, and that would have sealed the game early on. But again, we're not focused on negatives. It don't matter.
Can we talk? Because I know that's your boy, Billy from like the Cat Scratch Fever, the Panthers writer. Like anytime Jimmy misses a ball to one of these guys, before anybody else posts it, I always see Billy like this dude is like on it immediately. And he was cooking Diggs all day. Every time Diggs got beaten coverage, within 5 seconds, 10 seconds, boom, on the timeline. So if he's out there and he ever sees it, Billy, I respect your dedication to the craft, man, because it's incredible how consistent you are with that.
100%. All right, let's end this with all right, I'll take this. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Again, we're good. You appreciate it. You guys better win the Super Bowl, because at least I can say we lost to the Super Bowl chance. Good luck on your playoff run. I'm with that vibe as well. You know, I'm not saucy enough right now to proclaim that at this point. We
can get there.
We'll get there, we
can get there.
But what I want to say is respect to you, because you were in here for our streams and everything, and the banter is what it is. It's never personal or anything like that. So respect to you for pulling back up, and appreciate the donation 100%, man. Thank you so much, man. And you know what? You have a lot of things to look forward to. I'm okay with Dallas as long as they don't play us. That's it. Like if y'all not in the way, then it is what it is.
Can I talk about an important thing I learned on the Nickelodeon broadcast? Is that allowed right now?
Go for it.
When they would talk about a player, they'd have like, the screens that they put on the screen where it's like, oh, Tom Brady has this stats, whatever. They would do that, but with random facts about the players. They had Elijah Mitchell what his wrestling name would be. And his wrestling name would be the Almighty Eli. And that's his nickname. I just want that to be known. His nickname is the Almighty Eli. That's a big goal.
No. So
also,
that too.
I have to wrap up a 3-year-old's broken toe.
Oh. Are you okay?
Yo!
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
I'd rather have that Sergio, bro. This man's podcasting, bro.
Yo, you driving right now?
I'm just driving, bro. I got Cowboys fans.
Hey, get off the damn phone while you're driving, Javi.
Kick him out.
Hey, tomorrow you'll be at work. Hey, do you want to go here, bro? I'll go.
Get off the phone. Get home. He's wilding.
Hey, Jason, I just wanna throw it out there just for you. Out of Newark, 662 to Green Bay, and there's tickets on Ticketmaster for 176. It's like $900 for the weekend. Is he saucy to consider? Is he saucy enough to consider it?
I got 4 minutes, and honestly, I'm not really thinking about that. No, man, no, because I got to be able to come back and do these post game shows right away. I'm not gonna be able to do that in Lambeau.
I can run the post game shows on the Aponte YouTube. They come for me.
Yeah, absolutely, right, 100%. Let's see. We got here Jeremy with the donation. Jimmy being out QBs on the vets. Wait, Jimmy being out QBs on the vets. They wanted him to make the impossible for Shanahan to even consider Lance, and he'd risk mutiny. Go San Francisco. Shout out to Paul. Niners. What up, Jason? You're the only dude who ever acknowledged me. Grant never does. Grant is Hollywood, bro. Like you gotta stop messing with him, man. He's just like he's too Hollywood, man. I'm about to stop messing with Grant because I had to pull his Niners card on his birthday. I talked to Joe and Steve. I gave him his Niners card back, and who knows where he's at talking about this now. So, yeah, man, Grant, I'm watching you, bro. I'm watching you. You got to start talking to the people. Man's too Hollywood.
Actually, can I go back to a point Jason or Jordan made real quick? Because I wanted to say it. I forgot it. The Debo run call on that 3rd and 11, that's just Kyle Shanahan getting the ball in his best player's hand and trying to get him to make a play. And he damn near did. I that's all I really wanted to add to it.
Yeah. Ironically enough, you know who actually prevented that from being a first down? Trayvon Diggs was actually the one who brought him down for the sticks. I thought that was pretty. And the Cowboys made some big plays in some big spots. Like that tackle by Van Der Esch on Debo.
Yes.
When they didn't give up, and they're a good team, and that's where it kind of I know Niners fans are stoked because it's the Cowboys and they're stoked that they won, but they should be stoked because that was a really good team that they just beat. And I thought the Niners outplayed them pretty much all game. Yeah, Dallas's penalties didn't help, but you know what? The Cowboys also weren't just gifting balls to the other team the way that the Niners were towards. You know what I mean? Dak's interception wasn't great, but it was nowhere near as egregious as Jimmy's was. The special teams, that punt. How do you not think a fake punt's going? Everybody in the world is wait, they're punting here, and John Fassel has been one of the best special teams coordinators in the league. Niners fans might remember he was with the Rams for 10 years, and Johnny Hecker, they used to run fake punts with him all the Johnny Hecker has a great arm, so I'll give him credit for that, the punter. But it just felt like the 49ers, because I don't want the narrative coming out of this. I'm already seeing it from a lot of Cowboys fans. I don't really care. They're emotional and dealing with they're going through the stages of grief right now. But the narrative from this game shouldn't be oh, Jimmy almost gave it away and they almost lost. It should be that both teams made a bunch of mistakes, but the 49ers just out-muscled and they just were more physical than the other team. And I just think that –
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I just don't want people to get in the cynical – you should feel good. The Niners just beat the Cowboys in Dallas in the playoffs. It doesn't matter.
I think you can feel good and still be honest about what happened in the second half, though. I mean, we shouldn't ignore it.
Yeah, but the narrative, what I'm saying, Rich, is the narrative shouldn't be that the Cowboys just gave this game away, because the Niners tried to give the game away multiple times. They had a bunch of times.
For sure. But all I'm saying is don't ignore that stuff just because they won, because we'd absolutely be talking about it if they lost.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I'm just saying that both teams were horrendous when it came to self-inflicted mistakes, and that was not the difference in this game. The difference in this game was that the 49ers pass rush got after Dak Prescott and didn't allow that defense to put up points. The difference in the game was the secondary held up, and D'Amico Ryans is an absolute stud. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't think that should be forgotten because the Cowboys did so. Because what's going to happen is people are going to remember the Cowboys calling a draw play with 14 seconds left on the 40-yard line. Like, that's one of the dumbest calls I've ever seen. Like, I just am like beside myself. But I don't want that to overshadow the Niners playing better than the Cowboys for the entire game.
I know Jason's trying to get out of here in an hour, but can I ask a quick prisoner of the moment, fact or fiction? I don't need an explanation, just fact or fiction. D'Amico Ryans is a better defensive coordinator than Robert Saleh.
Fact in year one.
No, like a peak Saleh versus D'Amico Ryans right now.
I'm not going to be prisoner of the moment, so I'll say fiction for now.
Okay.
Guys?
Fact.
Wow.
Sadie, what was the question?
Fact or fiction, D'Amico Ryans right now is better than peak Robert Saleh at DC for the Niners. Fact or fiction? I know it's a prisoner of the moment question.
I'm going to agree with Jordan here, man, because he's done it all season without two healthy cornerbacks.
There you go. I was just curious.
It's close.
Although, I mean, it's close because
close.
Saleh did have that defense top 6 last year without
2020. That's the thing
most
that's got
people,
me a
too.
little bit. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but I think one thing too, like as Jordan said, the blitz, like Saleh never seemed to go against tendencies, right? Like that wasn't a thing he did much. Ryans doesn't seem to be afraid to do that. So
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure hearing something or seeing something about that, and I don't want to bring this play up on a day like today, so I apologize in advance.
Go ahead.
The Chiefs ran that wasp play. I'm pretty sure that the Chiefs had specifically installed that play because the Niners.
I didn't expect it to be that one.
Their tendency was to go to that so frequently, and that's where I feel like there's a difference. Is it feels like Ryan is a little bit more willing, but
it absolutely was. They talked about it after that game that they saw something in the beginning of that Super Bowl that led them to calling it on that third down at the end of the Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah, so I wasn't tripping yet. So, but I do want to say that I thought Saleh was much better at making adjustments and getting more creative with his pressure. Because truthfully, like in 2019, when you have a D line that good, you'd almost be stupid to not drop 7 in coverage and just rush 4 when they were that good and that effective. But it just feels like Ryan's like has been more willing to go against the grain and do the unexpected. And just like Rich said, to do what he did this year and have a top 3 defense without starting cornerbacks for an entire season in this day and age in the NFL. And it's your first years, like, sky's the limit for the guy. And anybody who remembers watching him play for the Eagles and the Texans, he's always was a very cerebral player. And I think that's where you're hearing these guys talk about how he's going to be a head coach one day. Like, there's so much more than just X's and O's. And I think he really knows how to rally those guys and fire them up. And I think that's one thing. Saleh was obviously so good at bringing the intensity that people were just like, oh, D'Amico Ryans isn't out there like ripping his headset off and like flexing on the field after 4th down stop. So clearly there's a big loss there. Like, I think D'Amico Ryans has been pretty good at getting those guys to step up in big moments. And there's not a better example than today. They were literally without their 2 best players against the most explosive offense in the league, and they didn't allow them to score to end the game. So, yeah, I would go D'Amico Ryans. I apologize for the long answer.
No, you're good. Look.
I was gonna say sorry, Jason. I didn't expect that fact or fiction to lead to the wasp.
No,
play,
it's good. We're out. One more thing. We'll take this last one from Mike. What do we think about Eman and Ambry Thomas? I thought they played well. Also, current forecast calls for a high of 11 degrees and low of 3. We'll worry about that on Sunday. Appreciate the donation, bro. But Ambry and Emmanuel played amazing in this game. And you know, again, CeeDee Lamb had like 1 catch, and that's all attributed to that. I will leave you with this one thing that is very important because this is news that just came across. There's a little bit of breaking news. Kyle Juszczyk, in fact, went into the slime tank for the 49ers, and he was the one who actually took the slime. There you go. And that is...
Did you see the picture?
No, but that's what you should be walking away with. There you go. And that's what you should be walking away with at this point. Real quick, I'm going to go around one time, let everybody know where they can find everybody's material, content, and we're getting out of here because I want to party. Jordan, you start first and go all the way around, and you know where Andrew's at.
Yeah, you can just find me on Twitter. My @'s there, and then Niners Nation.
Yeah, that's my same ad at the screen, and you can find me at Acme Packing Company if you want to see a Super Bowl, or not a Super Bowl, Green Bay, San Francisco preview this week, and then football zebras and Niners Nation sometimes.
Hello, you can find me on Twitter here. I also have a podcast called the Sprint Right Option Podcast. Do it Mondays and Fridays. New episode tomorrow that'll talk about the Niners win today. Probably more clear, concise thoughts on it. So be sure to check that out. It's on some dude, Jason Aponte's YouTube channel, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
And I'm Jason Aponte, and we getting up out of here. What I want to say, one more thing before we go. Smoking on that Dallas pack all week. Niners move on. We'll talk about the Packers soon, but enjoy the win. Enjoy your time. And let's go Niners. Welcome, everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte.